So I am Brandon Scholet from Red Siege, which is a blessing. I am not from pen testing. My background is from the Air Force. I made computer networks work. I worked on 1980s telephony. I got into VoIP, and then I was going to get out, and someone says, you should go into cyber warfare. That's where your people are. And I'm like, no, I'm getting out. I don't like being in the military, man. Well, another 5 years later, I did cyber warfare, Unix exploitation, some other stuff, and I work at Red Siege as a senior security consultant. I am not a scripter. I'm an implementer. I have an idea and I do it. It's probably not great code, but at least it is functional. I have 3 wonderful kids that I love, my wife who is dealing with them all at home, and I've got some hobbies. So what is this about? So has anyone here been involved in doing a pen test? Who has done a pen test? All right, who's been on the receiving end of a pen test? Who has not done either? Good for you. I'm hoping that there's something for all of us today. So, talking is easy, right? Just talking to people you've never met before. And, you know, you just get there and everything works. And, yeah, there's not going to be any problems. There's not going to be any miscommunications. Well, I was sitting there, I think it was the Wednesday Offensive, and there was this old hat pen tester, dude I look up to, complaining about something that I thought was really simple. And I said, no, I had a really good mentor last year that said, do this one simple thing, and it works. And I thought about it, and I said, communication is really important. You know, learning how to communicate. When I started, I did not know, I heard these like business development people doing these things during scoping. And I said, there we go. So going from public to private was weird. Scoping calls, questionnaires, it's not a mission plan. But they're saying stuff like, you know, as per my last email, or let's circle back to this later at our next meeting. Or I don't know, think this meeting could have been an email. These things are terms that I did not know in the military, and it was a barrier to entry for me for doing scoping, kickoffs, and pen testing. And as a pen tester, I do not like doing things that I don't know how to do really well. I will obsess over it until I know how to do it. I had to know. So, how did I get there? Emulate good mentors. If you need a mentor, come get me. I will share everything that I learned. I don't know anything that most of you probably don't know, but I have my own lens. You ask and you practice. If you are a junior pen tester, you ask your guys, can I ride along? You ask a question here or there. You listen to the words they say and you ask them why they said it. There's not a pastable for communication. You can't just say, I'm going to put in my domain name and I have a good client. It takes practice. It takes time. You sweat a lot. And it's easier to do nothing. If you want to be a pen tester who has your senior pen testers that handle all the scoping and you show up and you do your kickoff and you're good, great. But maybe you want to, you know, advance there. You want to, you know, connect with these people. So communication is not just words. There's Tim. There are things that are words, but they are prepped. If you're making them from scratch, you're probably wrong. Maybe have ChatGPT do it, or borrow from a company that has something, learn from them. Take a class. Rules of engagement, statement of work. These are your source documents. These are your gospel of truth. So you get your emails, you got your calls. These are how you communicate with them. Caffeine, of course. But all of these things add up to effective communication. You don't have to be a good speaker. You just have to know how to use the tools that are available to you. So work with the people you have. I am so blessed at Red Siege to have a sales guy, and I thank him all the time. Jaycon right there, his brother Joe is wonderful. He tries so hard, and I'm so happy to have him in my life because I've been there without it, and it sucks. I did the grind. I did the sal all the way to report delivery as a junior pen tester. But going back to that thing, how much experience do I have? Have I been a pen tester for 2 years? Have I been in exploitation for 8 years? Or have I been a computer geek my whole life? All of it adds up. Everyone can bring something to the table. You learn from me. I learn from you. So, yet again, source documents, your scoping, that'll be scratch notes. You will get something from the customer and be like, hey man, give me a general idea. You'll get on the call. Joe will handle that. Joe's amazing. I love Joe. Check out his Instagram. It's pretty hot. He does, what is it, Jacon? Red Skull? No, not Red Skull. I'm sorry. I can't think. But these documents are your truth. The statement of work is your legal protection and your legal promise. The questionnaire and the rules of engagement, that is the best document between you and the client because it shares all the information that really matters. So, how do you get into, your first thing? You break the script. Open-ended conversations. Joe, the guy that came in when my last place was falling apart, he said he got in a couple calls. He listened to what we were doing. We were this grind. He said, guys, next call, let me handle it. And we're like, okay, all right. Thanks, new boss. And he said, so how you guys doing? What brings you to us? Tell us about your environment. What are you worried about? Those questions were far more effective than anything I'd asked in a whole year because they gave us stuff I never would have gotten if I said, what's your domain? How many endpoints do you have? Are you good at security? You get an organic look at what they have. And you can tell who there in the context knows their stuff. Are you talking to a security manager that's separated? Are you talking to that guy that will geek out with you through the engagement? Who cares? Find the person who cares. If they're all checking the box, it sucks, but it's okay. We can get through it. Maybe something I'm going to say will help you with that. Yeah, tell me about yourself. And honestly, that endeared the clients to us and me to them more than anything. And that's when I started enjoying this. It was not a grind. It was a jigsaw puzzle. It's a crossword. I was learning how to interface with people effectively. And I love it. So, sales and scoping. This baby could fit so many different named engagements. Do you want a cloud purple team? What does that mean? It doesn't matter. As long as you can explain what you have, what's the difference, and why it should matter to them for what they have. If you can figure out their maturity of their organization through those open-ended questions by asking what they're really worried about, then you get that inside look. That question gets so much easier if you ask those open-ended questions. Trust me. What's their test history? Have they gotten, a pen test? Have they done red team? My thing, and if you just watch Mike Saunders' talk, he's my boss. I'm going to contradict him. He says, build the report. I think that is true. What I think you should do is if you are a small hospital, you get that internal external pen test. If you think you've mastered that, if things are good, you go to an assumed breach where we land on a box and we say, okay, what can we get through as an employee? You shortcut the things that take the most time that don't matter. People will get in through phishing or exploitation. It is a matter of time. There are people, there's Wikipedia, those things are there. Nothing on this is sourced from Wikipedia, so sorry. Figure out what it is. After they've done the assumed breach, sorry, tangents, you get into maybe a red team or a purple team. I turn every assumed breach into a purple team if I can. I say, give me every detection you have. I want to make you look good. You find my stuff, it's going in the report in line. It's not going to be an appendix. It's not going to be mentioned. We are a team. You and I, client and I, we are a team. We are going to help you grow. We are going to make cybersecurity better. Maybe one day you'll be red team, or you'll be like Jake here, and you'll develop awesome tools that will fix things for blue people. We all work together. He and I work together. People at different Trimark, different companies, we work together. We say, hey, I have this idea. What do you think about it? How can we both figure this out? And that grows everyone. So, scope and dirty. Your client doesn't want to give you scope, or they don't know really what to give you for a scope. You have to explain it to them. Communicate what you need and why. Say, I only want so external, I want your IPs. I want your host names. This is what I want to test. This is what should be tested. This is OSINT. These are the things that you need me to check for me to feel comfortable that you're secure. Because if I test something and I miss something, that will haunt me forever. I want you secure. That is my job. I don't care about winning at a pen test. So, red peeps, explain this. Blue peeps, ask this. Figure out what? The closer the scoping is, the cheaper it will be. Because if it's a web app and you tell me, I've got 1,000 endpoints, this happened last month, I've got 1,000 endpoints, I can't narrow it down. Well, please narrow it down, because I don't want to charge you for a 3-week test when you really should have a 1-week test. It will waste your money. It will mess up our scheduling. I will take time away from your test because I do not feel that I should be charging you for things that you are not getting. If you do not get a good product, I have failed you. If I waste your time, I have failed you. So, has anyone bought a car without seeing it or even knowing what model it was? Did you just like get one day? No. Pen test report. A good pen testing company will have a copy of their pen test reports. It will be available for them when you ask, or heck, if your company has it on their website for everyone to see as an example for the industry, go check it out. This is who we are. This is my speed date. You see what you're gonna get. There are so many times that I see, so Carfax, you wanna know what accident history it is. Your last test, was it a Nessus report? Did they charge you $10,000 for a 2000 Nessus report and you could run Nessus every day and they called it a pen test? So, see what's on the Carfax. There's so many bad pen test reports out there. I know, I steal them off your file shares. I look at them. I want to tell you what makes me different. What's my differentiator? We want to fix you. I don't want to go too much into Red Siege, so I'm not here to sell you services. But if you are a pen test company, start doing this. Every finding we have has a validation step that tells the client it's the commands, and what the expected output is when they have fixed it. We don't like doing remediation tests. The billing is weird. You never know how much it's going to be. People want to have one, statement of work at the beginning. It's all weird. So by giving you the tools to do it yourself as a blue teamer, it's a win-win. Every client I have, I'm like, hey, I wrote this one tool. I think it'd be really great. You should run it. You should run it every month. You guys should hack yourselves. So, yeah, Nessus scan report it's not a pen test. I'm sorry. I have seen a pen test that was the default Nessus scan with an image thrown in the front of it. Yeah, it's the pen test is the journey. It's the friends you make along the way. 7,000. All right, cool. Blue peeps. The price will vary widely in the industry. If you want to get one of those big name companies, it'll probably be more expensive. If you are a no-name hospital in Oklahoma, you're not probably going to be going to Red Siege or Black Hills or Trusted Sec. You are going to go to maybe that one person that one guy knows at your MSSP, or if you don't have an MSP, your life's probably happier. Like CrossFit members, consultants will tell you all about how great we are. We will tell you, like, yeah, man, I do everything I can. And if they don't seem excited to share with you, do you want someone who doesn't care about making you better, or doesn't care about like making things better to test your network? No. So if you get references from them and their reference goes like, yeah, that's all right. Maybe you don't want them. If they go, hey, so my last place, they go like, hey, so these guys, it's like 2 guys, the whole pen test company, and they did such a good job. They found stuff we've never seen before. And I was like, well, I give a shit. That's it. I give a shit. That it's so hard to find these, services companies that care. So, pre-engagement checklist, source of truth, source doc, the most useful document to the testers and the tested. I don't think I'm going to read all this stuff, but yeah, it's all right here. The slides will be on our website. I'm sorry I don't have a link yet because I finished writing them an hour ago. Because I kept getting ideas from wonderful people here. I kept redoing it, and I wanted new memes because I love memes. So all of these things, if they have a questionnaire and it doesn't have this on there, that pen testing firm has not considered these things maybe. If they don't bring it up on the kickoff call, that's a red flag. Kickoff. Woo. Review the SAL. So this is for the testers. Review the SAL beforehand. Sometimes we'll get a contract 4 months out. And then they'll be like, oh, my amazing project manager, Molly, scheduled me for this client. And the kickoff call is like 3 weeks ahead. Read the SAL, read the emails, read everything. If you're not prepared for that meeting, it's a disservice to your customer. So review the questionnaire. A lot of people will not fill it out properly. The contact information, all of it, or they just won't give it to us. So is anything missing? I am a big fan of using like a Microsoft form-based one. We don't have that yet, but I really think it's cool because you can force people to actually put stuff in. Because as I said, this is the most important document to a tester. If you don't give it to us, you're cutting my legs off. I'm Lieutenant Dan. So this will be the first touch point for most testers. That senior tester will do the sales and scoping or help the sales guy, if you have a sales guy. The tester will walk on and go, hi, I'm Brandon. And you are? What's your company? Great. They will get that questionnaire. They will get that SAL. So this is where it starts for us. If you don't do this, disservice. So red peeps, everything written down during the call, everything. Figure out how you're going to firm up your access methods. How are you getting access? Do you have to be whitelisted? Create an action list for all parties. So this is a red siege to do. This is a project manager to do. This is a client to do. Email it out. Document. Email it out. Put dates on there so that everyone is ready. Because the amount of times I've had a client that just didn't answer my emails, and then first day of the test, sorry, we don't have your access ready. And it takes till I lose a whole day of testing. We scope tightly. If I lose a day of testing, what am I going to do? I'm going to stress out, and I have 3 kids at home. I can't really give you extra time after bed. I watch TV with my wife. So help me help you. So yeah, Tim Medine, last month, I got a little too comfortable. I'm a people pleaser. And I was like, hey guys, what do you want to do? And close-ended conversations. The open in the beginning, the closed in the end. Use the SAL as gospel. Per the SAL, we are scheduled for this. Quote it. You should know what's in that SAL for that client. Because if you don't, what if you miss something on the kickoff? It's not good. So don't ask them what they want to do if it leads away from the contract, your legal protections and promises. Frame it in the confines of the SAL. I don't think he actually said it that way, but it looks good that way. So remember, when you're telling them these options, they don't know what you're talking about probably, and they don't know why. Tell them why this is a good option. Like, oh, we're doing an assumed breach. We want an old laptop, an old user, so we can test that grit in your network. Or you want to test your golden image. Cool. Keep in your grooves. Ask them if it works. Don't let them derail you with them going, well, geez, I've never considered that question before. I don't know what the answer to give you. You give them the answer and have them pick. Closed-ended questions. Yeah, those earlier open questions make this easier. If you are the person on the sales call, I like to ask, if I'm the person on the sales call, put me on the test. Because those questions, I don't like not knowing things. So, goals. What's the client's goal? Oh, what time is it? Ooh, okay. Wow. Has it only been 20 minutes? Man, flying. All right. Your goals are not always the client's goal. What's this? Can someone tell me what that is? DA. You don't need it. Watch that talk. It's an older Red Siege talk. And it talks about you don't need DA. And actually, I'm going to talk about that next year on a talk. Hopefully I get accepted. But you don't need DA to own a company. You can just crawl their file shares and steal stuff that's very sensitive. So you have to ask them what their crown jewels are and frame it in your goals. Does it ring a bell? Crown jewels, I'm sure you've heard it. Great. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say you don't know. If you haven't heard, crown jewels. DA doesn't matter anymore. You can have DNS admin. Blue tuxedo, great tool. So, yeah, your goals are not always the client goals. Ask what it is. When you ask, what are you worried about? You get that question answered, and they say, well, we have these developers, and they're refusing any kind of security testing, and we know we're unsecure, but we want to get there, and it's so hard, and we don't have funding. I'm going to write my report in a way that helps you. I am going to write my report in a way that helps you. So, a little bit more on this, actually, we go back. So, write the report that helps. Yeah, if you want funding, if you want to look good for your bosses, I want to help you. We are a team. But some people don't think we're a team. And that's hard. They come on, they go, we don't want to give you the scoping information because you'll win. 2 months ago, this happened to me. And it's so hard because I care. I care. And they don't. They don't even want their CISO to maybe see their test because it's that bad. If they had put as much energy into looking at open source tools, maybe they, I know there's a lot of budgeting and time, but there are some big things that need to be fixed. And, you know, there are videos on the internet. There's people here that all have these videos that want to help you. Look at them. So it sucks. It really sucks. Document. Timestamps. Don't do it on a phone call. It is on paper. If it's on a Zoom call, document it. Put down what they said. Put down what you said. Maybe bribe them with cookies. I don't know. Be nothing but professional. Don't let them know you're frustrated. Kill them with kindness. Just go like, hey, yeah, I'm here to help you guys. We're the same team. Be kind. Be constructive. We are on the same team. Getting hacks is cool. I love being a pen tester. I like breaking into things. But I'm not a hacker. I'm a security consultant. I like having happy clients. I like having repeat clients. That is my Pavlov response. They go, this was so great. That makes my month that this person's like, you guys did great. Because I get it. Pen testing is expensive. It is a point in time practical evaluation of what you are doing in your network. It's not an audit. It is, what if someone really tried? Do you want that to be contrived? Do you think it's not going to happen to you? It does. So, I don't like reporting. I hate writing. I type wrong. I don't want to write for the same vulnerability every month and screenshot it and screenshot it. I want you guys to have that fixed. Maybe when you're doing your pen test, watch videos that we put out that tell you all the things that you should fix. I did it's not on here, but I did a talk, a siege cast called Same Hack, Different Day. And it was like an hour and 20 minutes of me just going over all of the common vulnerabilities that I find that should be public and people should check. I run through it in a week. I know budgeting is hard. I know time is hard. Learning is hard. But in our report, we give you the commands. We give you all the things you need to do to learn because we want you to do it yourself. Use red team tools to prepare blue. Use blue team tools to prepare red. During the engagement, this is Lily. She is my princess. She does ride-alongs and report inspections. She likes it when I'm on video calls. I have dogs, but I'm not going to show you them. So, what do you do during the test? I don't know, just communicate, right? It's that easy. That is refreshing enough for most clients. Some clients go, okay, we let you in our network, and they don't hear from you until you deliver the report, and then they're upset. So, set a reminder schedule. Pick what you're going to do. My last job, since we would have like 6 weeks for scoping, because we would do everything on a client one to the end, every Tuesday, I sent an email saying what we've done, what we found, and what we're going to do next. Every Thursday, same thing, or a Zoom call if they want, because I want them to learn. I want those questions answered. Slack channel is better, not Teams. Sorry, Jake. So let them know how it's progressing. Maybe they have something they'll help you find because they care about it too. You should be asking these questions on what you find. Hey, I found this thing. I don't think it's important to me, but I think it might be important to you. What do you think? And they go, yes. And I go, okay, that elevates the finding. That makes it higher. I am not an expert in the healthcare industry, the legal industry, the oil and gas industry. I don't know. I just hack computer stuff. So you tell me what yet again, what your crown jewels are. And if I find them, that is how I help you. And I write my remediations and my reports specifically to help you fix that one thing. So these questions, sorry, that's for red team. That's a blue team. That's a red team question. Set up this plan during the kickoff if you can. I prefer a Slack channel because then we can send memes and we can talk, and it is real time. I say, I found this thing. Did you find this vulnerability? I want to turn, as I've said, every AB into a pseudo purple team because I want your detections in my report, because that helps teach me. You tell me that this simple tool was detected, then I will say, okay, well, I know now. I know this tool can be detected by Cisco AMP, Falcon, Checkpoint. I know what, and then that helps drive my next test because then I won't do that thing. So stick to that plan. My goals, these are my goals. A client should never be surprised with what they find on a test. If there's something critical, high, medium, they're already gonna know before I give them that report, because I need to know how critical that is. So, also, to be a concierge of knowledge. I am not just a report writer. I am your buddy for a week, for 2 weeks. You're curious about security or all these things or tools? That's your time. I'm yours. Let's hang. So, yeah, frame the engagement in the attacks in the lens of the client goals. And sure, I hack stuff too. That's actually, that's what I do. I take screenshots of stuff, but I hack stuff. But my main thing is teaching you how to secure yourself, not hacking. Post engagement, we're done. We found a couple crits, you guys did great. And we had a good time. So, I know as it seems silly, when you draw near to the end, let them know what you have left. Say, I'm running down these last 3 things. Maybe I can pick 2. What do you want to do? I'm almost done with the report because I procrastinated. I didn't report at the same time. Give them a timeline. Let them know when you're done. Remind them of their rights. Remember that SAL. It is a legal document. Your delivery time frame. They should know this at this point. The fact that they are allowed to request edits and what your contract says on edits and a final cut report. They should know that. Report acceptance. So for us, if they don't ask for edits in 10 days, the report is considered accepted. Is it a firm rule? Maybe not. But yeah, just communicate with them. Just here's what I care about. You guys good? We're good? Yeah? We're done? Anything else? Cool. So report and delivery. Those client goals you asked about, yet again, they should be in your report. Learn how to integrate them. You have an executive summary. What's positive? Positive findings. Give them positive findings because it's hard for them. Like there's all this stuff that, or you guys or them, whoever, there's all this stuff that's just so much and you can't focus on it all. And there's meetings and emails and all this stuff. Just scope it to them. If they told you they need something to be in the report to drive a point or get funding, get it in there. Send them the verbiage and say, hey, do you like this? Does this help you guys? Or do you want us to rephrase it? Or it's not illegal. You can send them stuff and be like, hey, do you like this? Because we're friends, right? We're buddies. It's hard getting funding. So I'm gonna help you. Deliver the report in the defined method. You ask them, hey, how do you feel, what makes you feel secure when you deliver a report? Is it a SharePoint? Is it an encrypted email? Honestly, I don't think the encrypt email thing, I don't know how it works. It's black magic. I don't trust it. I like sharing a password protected PDF. So when your next pen test client pulls it off your file share, they won't be able to see it because it's a password on it. But that's not what we do. So put it in a SharePoint, a secure file transfer service that is theirs. Upload it from your Dropbox. Pick something that they like because they're scared. And you're their shepherd. You're here to guide them. Remind them of what you can offer. It doesn't end there. You're still buddies. 3 months from now, I'm going to reach out to be like, hey, I know you guys had this one thing, but I saw this one thing and you should do this one thing. Hope to see you later. Come back soon. You know, maybe in like 30 days, we'll put out a post-engagement survey email. You know, it's a team thing. So your debrief call, if they want it, give them one, because this is when they get everyone on and they can ask you the questions that you did not know layman's terms for in their lens. Those questions will, yet again, help you communicate better the next time and improve your reporting process. So be prepared. Sometimes it'll be 3 weeks to a month before I do the debrief call, because life happens. And honestly, I don't remember that I tested your client name or what test I did, because I brain dumped it. Because I look in 1,000 haystacks every day and I don't find any needles, and I brain dump it because I get out of work and I cook or hang with my kids. So have the report ready to share. If they want to do it and scroll themselves, cool. But let them know their options at the beginning. Be like, hey, I have it prepared to share, but if you guys want to do it, you do it, because then they can control the flow. You're not just going by too fast for them. And they can skip the findings they don't care about. Fair. So give them their preferred option, your preferred option, but let them choose, because they pay you. You work for them. You're their concierge. But make sure you ask for questions almost every time you can. Sure, it probably sounds annoying, but they probably appreciate it. Hey, any questions before we move on? Every time. Maybe I'll change it up a bit so it's not so repetitive. But I'm not just saying, do you have questions? I'm saying, hey, are you guys good? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because afterwards, sure, like I'll have time for you, but this is our time. Our time is now. So why is it all important? As I said, it'll be a time. This is the expectation. I will have a sales call. We'll have a kickoff call. You know, we'll do some hacking. I'll write a report. It'll be stressful because I don't like writing. Delivery debrief. You would think that's what it looks like from the blue side. This is my life. There's weird stuff all the time, and I'll have like 3 debrief calls in a day, or 2 kickoff calls. One's 3 weeks before the test, and one's 2 weeks. And yet again, I'm brain dumping. So document, document, document. Everything is documented. Those notes that you ask, those questions you ask, jot them down. Look back at them. So what does that even mean? 1 second. Okay, yes, the after. Lifetime supply on me. So we're still buddies. I still want to be your buddy. The end of the engagement is not the end of our relationship. If we're on Signal, if we're on Discord, I'll invite you to our Wednesday offensive. There's a new volume, ship it. New tool, ship it. Memes, ship it. Happy New Year. Give your client a Happy New Year, because buds. You don't have to just try to get a repeat client. You are not a salesperson. You are a technical person. You're their bud. This is how we build our community. Not red, not blue. We're purple. We go back and forth. I learn from you. You learn from me. We grow together. There's no other way. We grow together. So, what's your bad scenario? We probably don't have one of those things, but do any of you have a scenario that maybe I said something that kind of jogged your memory? Is that a thing? Good. That makes me happy. You don't have to raise your hand. That's it. I'm probably early. I talk like a caffeinated person. So how to find me? Send Lassie. I'm not stuck in a well, but I'm talking to someone on a tangent. Discord, spicy and dicey. Or the Red Siege Discord, redsiege.com/Discord. And I'm Brandon. Drive to Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Come hang out. If it's the right season, we'll get crawfish. We'll go out in the boat. We'll get I don't really drink beer, but we can get a cider or a fruity drink, and we can just talk. Yeah. Twitter, X if you must, Scholet. And here's the people that pay me, because they're awesome. And I love being at Red Siege. I'm just so happy. This is our stuff. We do training now. These are some of the things. I'm trying to get Cloud up and running as a named offering in the next year. But yeah, that's it. Any questions? Sir. So this gentleman asked me, who do I want on that call? And the simple answer for me is someone who gives a shit. But I I would like to have someone who's in charge of the decision-making process and someone who actually does the groundwork. Those two. You put those two in a chat with me and we'll make it work. I want someone who can make that change and is not saying my boss will never let me do X or Y. And I want the person who actually knows what they're talking about, because that manager doesn't know what ADCS is. They don't know what cross-site scripting is. Both of y'all. I want everyone. You can have 10 people talking to me. And as my things go on, because yet again, I love Slack. Every day it's this person joined, because everyone has a different question they want to ask. And I'm about it. Debrief call. You throw 30 people in there, I'm good. I will answer those questions. Any other questions? Sir. So this gentleman asked, what does it look like when we tell people how to remediate? What do we show them? redseas.com/sample. It is in our sample. Every finding has the command to run, the expected output if you remediated it properly. I will build a CSRF token generator thing to do a post request. I will put it in the appendix and I will link it down in the report as a C appendix D, long list of stuff. It will be in there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we have those on our report. We will give you the exact commands. And yet again, it is not illegal to ask your pen test company to tell you how to fix it or what to do. It's not illegal. You can just ask them. We're your buds. We're your friends. Purple. Yeah. Anything else? I think that's it.